We're live. We're back Monday. We had a
The
fun.
grind never stops, man. Coming off of a July 4th weekend, I know you were pretty successful. You had nearly a 5K weekend, and you had the biggest heartbreak of
Yeah, the Ben
all.
Coles.
The
The Ben
Ben
Coles
Coles,
thing.
Ben Coles winner outright, just a bold call. I know a lot of guys in the industry were on him, but just long shot, 86-1. You had him paired so nice with so many things, and he puts the ball in the water on 18. Just
Yeah, like it pretty much like at France, Spain, US. If one of those teams wins and Ben Coles wins, it's like deep into six figures. But that is not the way.
those are the balances. Those are the things we talk about. Put yourself in position to get lucky. You betting a Ben Coles outright, like you couldn't have had a better chance. Sunday he had a great Sunday. Damn, Chris Gotterup's just a monster.
Just the way he lost is more. It's not even. It's like playoff loss. Or if he puts himself in range, he puts himself 7 feet for par and he misses it. Okay, but the water ball is like particularly disappointing because it's just not even. It takes.
If you're golf guys, me and you both play a little golf, but if you're golf guys, you watch that swing. It was just a bad swing. He was feeling all the pressure. Just slow through the swing. It wasn't good. It wasn't his normal swing. The guy's a good approach player. It was not his normal swing.
This is the truth, though. I think the nerve started to get to him. You saw it on the par 5. You saw it like there was just a little bit of shakiness in this game down the stretch because he knew
he birdied that par 5 all 3 days. And the 4th day, there was some cowardice there. Like you take the big dunk, you take the driver out, and you fucking smash it, and you try to go for it in 2, and you win it, right? Because if he's one shot up going to 18, he's just playing it safe. He's hitting it to the middle of the green.
Yeah.
He thought too much about it, pulled it left, and then into the drink it goes. I think there was like 3 water balls there all week. Like it was not a particularly challenging approach shot to get the water. He just bad shot. So those are the breaks. We know
he didn't win, right? It's like you bet the winner and they don't win, move on to the next one. And it's like the only outright I bet.
We talk about this, and I know our stream is like we have a small corner of the universe here, but looking at Gotterup, and I know I've talked about this before, but having that Cam Smith win that Open a couple years back and Gotterup get second is like there's nothing more heartbreaking. And of course, it's Gotterup that comes through and hurts you on the other side. Gotterup's an absolute Italian tank, though. Like he's just a tank.
He's a beast, dude.
You know what's funny? I don't know if I watched a lot of golf this week. But Gotterup was hitting shots like he was practicing a fade, and like usually he's a draw guy. He was practicing shots for the Open, and he still won.
Yeah.
Like he changed his swing. He's like, I'm going to practice a shot because you're gonna have to throw a lot of draws in. So just a really impressive performance from him.
He really just went nuclear on Sunday too. Like he didn't play particularly well early in the week. There's a little tinkering going on, but Sunday was phenomenal. And knocked my big team out of place in 2 because I had Ben Griffin over Chris Gotterup, and didn't work out for the best there. But that is the way things shake out. Sometimes let's see if we can win the slate tonight. Love the baseball slate a lot. I like the golf slate too. There's so many guys I like. Ludwig Aberg's a name I really like. I mean, there's so just to look. I mean, this is a baseball stream today, but like this slate, like the pricing's out. Is like to me, it's like not a. I've been playing Scotty. I like Scotty. He's a good fit again, but like he's based off the odds. Like I think he's too expensive, right? Like you can't always correlate that, but he's a little bit too expensive to me. And I don't know how many of the cheapies are actually in play today or this week. But there's a lot of guys I like. I mean, there's so many. I built a mock team, Dylan, and there'll be some combination of these folks on this team. Let me go to it real fast. But Fleetwood's up there.
I know we're going to talk baseball. We have a small slate today, so
yeah, this will be quick. Ludwig Aberg's up there, and these are guys that I really like. So Fleetwood, Aberg, I love both those guys. A little bit different. Like Fleetwood is not as long, but very accurate, great putter. Ludwig, long and a good putter. But just obviously they both have good course history here. They fit well in these style of courses. Let me go down the board a little bit. Guys I like. Alex Fitzpatrick, I really like. He's just a dog. He's a great fit.
Love.
But then the guy in the so there's 2 guys like both, and then the guy right in price right with him is Rattan, Christopher Rattan. He's such a good fit here, and he always like in this past he's played well, but like it's like he's like Ludwig Aberg light in his skill set. I like him a ton. And then like you have guys in the low 7K range. I like Grazerman's a name that stood out. Like his profile is perfect for this. The form hasn't been great, but man, the profile is like ideal for this type of course. Yeah, but those are some of the names. I mean, those are guys I really like that stand off right off the bat. I'll wait to see who I actually get to. Brennan is another guy that kind of stood out as long, straight-ish.
And it doesn't really matter long and straight here. You need to you miss a lot of, you're missing over 50% of fairways. Most guys are here. The rough's not too penal. Want to stay out of the bunkers, but really you need to hit it a country mile here.
Yeah.
It's not True Links, it's American Links, technically, right? The guy that
Adam Scott's the other guy. I love Adam Scott.
Love Adam Scott. Love
Yeah.
Adam Scott. Yeah. I really wish Gary Woodland was in the field. I really think his fit here would be pretty spot on.
That's
and
the
I
thing.
was like,
Alex
dang, guys.
Fitzpatrick- Alex Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood are similar plays, like similar profiles, but like they hit it shorter, right? Like those aren't the long hitters.
Yeah,
really.
you're looking for 175 plus. You're looking for guys that hit, like I said, a country mile. And I said I might not play many guys that are played John Deere, but man, it's going to be hard not for me to like Chris Goddard up again. The guy, I think he's won here before. You know, and you generally don't want to look at that, but the guy is just he's playing golf. He's a young cat. I don't think the travel is going to mess with him too much. So.
He's a good fit. I like this guy, Angel Arroyo. He's in the 7. He's like 7'4". His profile is perfect for this. I think he's played one event on the PGA Tour, it's the PGA Championship, but like in his tour, he's been phenomenal, and he like his profile fits perfectly in this. But like to me, it's like Grazeman maybe a better. I mean, like statistically similar fits, but like I do like Angel a lot. And he's a guy that, like, you know, these fringe guys that don't play in the PGA Tour, people just ignore them, but like they're solid fits, and you don't ignore those folks here. Cool, man. You want to do this? We'll do some.
Let's do baseball. Let's talk baseball, guys. Yeah, and then listen. These podcasts are not evergreen, obviously, but we're going to be pumping out content daily. We're really excited about the upcoming football season. I mean, just as a 2-man duo, we've had so much success this year, and this has really been our best year to date. Going forward, we just really enjoy the game of it all. So yeah, stay along for the ride, especially for NFL. We'll be putting out a lot of stuff for Underdog, for DraftKings, for FanDuel. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into that. We only a month and some change away. So I'm excited to get that up and running.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, football's fun. I'm like running out of drafts, which is sad, but I mean, it's July 6th. So I'll switch to DraftKings, and I'll start doing some of these big dogs and Underdog, but I'm almost out of the best ball mania drafts, which is sad, but I'll make it do like I've been doing like 4 a day, which is just too many. So yeah, cool.
When you think you have an edge,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, when you think you have an edge, like, it's good to do it early. Like, guys are like, oh, it's better EV to wait to the end of the season. And I know, there's a lot of streams out there that are good, and these guys are like, I want to have one of every guy on my team. Like, dude, I'm never that way. I want to enter the draft with guys in the top 100 ADP that I have 0 of, and I'm comfortable in that, just because I'm going to be so high in others. So yeah, let's jump into the slate today. I think what do we have? 6, 7 gamer?
I think it's 7 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is good. That's a good, like 7 to 8 is like a fun slate. Before I go into it, let me just pull the weather up real quick, because I think that is something I haven't seen.
Yeah, Washington it's always good to check back before 6 o'clock to see what the weather actually looks like with better radar, right? There's so many afternoon thunderstorms, right? We live in eastern, maybe central North Carolina, but a lot of these East Coast games, you get afternoon storms. They can come and go, right? So weather might look bad at the beginning of the day, better towards the end of the day, or maybe vice versa. It's bad, better, it looks good, and then weather pops up. So you want to be really cognizant because if games get postponed and people are on that game and there's some uncertainty there, you're going to have an edge. And that's kind of how you won that GPP, that 100K recently, is, man, people were on this weather game. There was so much uncertainty there, and there's other good spots, and you ended up taking
you have that tonight a little bit. So this is the way. There's really no like immediate, like just completely avoid games, but you have the Astros Nationals. That's the orange yellow, according to Kevin Roth, right? Scatter storms, maybe a delay at some point.
It's a fantastic game for bats. So
it's a great game for bats. So it's like that's a pivot point potentially, right? Like, because people will go there high over under, but it's orange yellow. So scatter storms, which, like, even if the game doesn't get postponed, which I don't think it will, it could change the pitching matchups, which would like be a downgrade to bats, because it's a good bat matchup now. And then the other one is yellow green. We have the Braves and the Mets. Scatter storms, kind of like what they saw yesterday, but the game's gonna play, and then nothing else of note. Like the Cardinals gets a green game. It's like 5% of a shower at some point during the game, but nothing to like be concerned about. So really, it's like a clean slate. Again, the orange yellow maybe it's like a spot you either target or avoid depending on like what you want, like your risk tolerance. But let's start with the first game. This is an interesting one. Go ahead.
Can I just add before that? Yeah, we have the flagship 222 660 entry max for 100K to first. That's a fun tournament to get in. And, if you're building multiple entries like myself, it's maybe you attack that game on one and you fade on the other, right? Just to see, like, that's a game where it could absolutely explode. Maybe the risk, maybe it ends at orange based on Kevin Roth. And, like, maybe it's not going to play. Maybe it's postponed. And hopefully that loses ownership. So I might do that on a singular team. stack that game up even, and then kind of move on and kind of avoid it in other spots, right? If the risk is high, maybe we say like it's a likely PPD. So in that scenario, maybe people just completely avoid it, and then that's where I maybe target just throw $200 down the drain, but have that upside of these guys being single digit owned. So there's also that.
I just don't think, because it's not like going to be delayed. Sorry, since it won't be postponed at lock, like it would be a game that would be potentially delayed. Like I think there people will still play it because it's not a game that's going to be. So like that's the thing. It's like I don't think enough people pay attention to it. B, most people are looking at the over unders, right? They're like, okay, the game's going to play, over unders fine. Like it's not. I don't like if there's a red game and like it's apparent that they're going to stop. We're just not at that point, right? Like usually the PPD games, like the teams have they'll cancel the game, right? Like you'll get like 3 hours ahead of time. They're like, oh, we're not going to play this game. Because they won't start a game if they know it's going to rain all night. So if the game plays, I think it'll be owned at an appropriate rate, which will be one of the highest spots on the slate. Well, let's jump into it. Yeah, this will be pretty quick because we don't have too many to talk about. The first game, and this starts at 6:40, which is good. I probably won't watch it much tonight because we have USA playing, so I'm going to be focused on that. But we have Cam Schittler on the mound. Schittler, I always say his name wrong.
I think it's Schittler.
Schittler. Okay. Yeah. Versus Griffin Jacks for Tampa Bay. Cam is 11K, and we've seen some shakiness out of him. I'm not like opposed to going back to him, but at this price, I think he's like on this slate. Even though he's the ace of aces on the slate, I think he's unplayable because Tampa Bay is doesn't profile as a strikeout team, and Cam has looked shaky. So like the cost is just too much. I think it's too much, and I think there's a reasonable outcome of 15 to 20 points, but I don't feel like there's much of a ceiling here against Tampa. Like the park is good, but like Tampa is not a team that strikes out heavily. Cam has looked shaky. Those factors combined just lead me to be like, I'm gonna avoid this spot at 11K. You can't play Griffin really. Like Griffin's pretty good. He's like a solid pitcher in real life. And honestly, the Yankees lineup is one of the worst right now with everyone hurt. So like if I knew he could go longer into the game, maybe interesting at 7.5, but I think there's clearly better options in later games. So this is pretty much a pass for me. I don't really like the bats, right? I'm not going to stack against Cam. I think it's too thin. I think they could score a couple runs, but not enough to score anything on a winning slate. And then Griffin's good, but not great. And like the Yankees lineup is horrible right now. So.
Yeah, I'll keep my analysis short. I really do bet an under in this game, but I think that Schittler is in play. For me, the underlyings look good. It's a pitching lab in Tampa. I know the price is high, and there's some risk there. If you look at StatCast, a lot of these guys in the Denver lineup just do not strike out. I think a big percentage, let me just count them in their starting lineup, all have under 20% strikeout rates. You can go to the right side of StatCast here and see that. There's very few batters in that lineup that have over a 20% strikeout rate. That's very impressive. Yeah. So probably limits his upside. I do believe he has the best stuff overall on the slate. So, it's not going to be a bad play. And there's not really a huge, swath of options here. So for me, it's interesting. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Really looking to what the build comes to me. He won't be my prioritized pitcher, but I'm definitely going to have him on a singular 222, I think, tonight. But that's just short. You can't play Jackson, not stressed out enough. Good arm, but not good enough in this spot.
Yeah. Cool. Again, Cam, because his pitching is so thin, like I'm assuming he still is going to be 30% down. Like there's just not many options. There's virtually no options at pitcher. So like, it's just going to be easy to be like, oh, I guess Cam will get me 15 to 20. But yeah, I think there is risk, right? Tampa just plays great small ball. Like they're not a good team to target pitchers against. Cool. Let's move to the next game. This is more of an offensive spot. We talked about the weather already, but we won't mention it again now. So you have Burrows on the mound for Houston and Miklos on the mound for Washington. This is in Washington today. Burrows has like the prospect pedigree, has not worked out. And then Miklos is has solid thoughts here and there, but for the most part is like teeters on gas can. So this is a spot to get to in offense wise. But my take on this game is, so generally speaking, Washington's a lot better against lefties. So for the most part, only play Washington against lefties just because they're the number one team in the league against lefty. It's quite a bit lower against righties. Not as interested in Washington tonight, even though Burrows has not been very good. Still buying a little bit into the prospect pedigree, but yeah, I think I particularly like to only stack them against lefties. That's kind of the name of the game for me. And so with that said, I prefer the Houston side. Houston's healthier now. They're a fun team to stack, man. Like Gainer Diaz is in my opinion, preseason is like a top 5 offensive catcher. Cam Smith has all the tools to be an electric, real life player, but also like fantasy player. And then obviously you don't have to, don't beat around the bush with Yordan Alvarez is the best offensive player. I mean, he's MVP right now, right? So
Just looking at Statcast, though, the numbers are slightly better for James Wood. I mean, James Wood is first in so many categories, but like these two guys head to head are like two of the best.
Yeah, Jordan, I think, is the odds-on favorite for MVP right now. And I think right behind him is Junior Caminero in the AL. It's like Jordan Jr. like neck and neck. And I think James Wood, like, yeah, he'll have a word for the NL. But for me, it's like I like the Houston side. Yanner, you could stack this game in a very creative way. Like Yanner, there's so many good offensive players that bat towards the back end of the lineup too. So I think you could do like an interesting wraparound stack. I wouldn't leave off Jordan in any stack I do. Like if Houston goes off and Jordan doesn't do anything, like then I'm just not going to win in those slates. But I never I don't stack without the suit. If I'm doing a 5-man stack, I don't stack without the star. Right? Like that's just
and now there's a clear cut guy where like
Philly without Kyle Schwarber or even if those guys don't hit, and that often does happen. But like when those teams go off, it's like those guys drive the most runs and they drive the most production. So like you can box your way into a 5-man stack without the best player on the team, but that's not a winning strategy long term. So I think include Jordan. For me, it's Isak, it's Jordan, it's Christian Walker, and then I would add a Cam Smith and a Yanner Diaz, or maybe a Cam Smith and a Pena. I don't love Altuve, but he's always a guy you can just kind of fill in there. He's not my favorite player currently. He's just getting older, right? And at some point that skill set will decline. So I think it's Houston's A side for me. No pitchers here. Not interested in Washington. I think they could be owned, and they're objectively a good environment tonight. But I think not as good against righties on the mound. So that's kind of a downgrade for them. And then I do believe a little bit in Burrow's pedigree, although we haven't seen it. I still think given it, if he was a lefty, I'd be more on board with the Washington Nationals tonight. But
listen, I played Burrow in the 888 last time out, and he got me a 4th place finish. And the reason he did that, he just didn't do enough. Again, bats absolutely shoved for me at the slate. The White Sox put up 22. Got 4th place, cool Chris 10K there, but not enough from Burrows. And once again, the Nationals lineup is damn good. They're just damn good. I mean, Dylan Cruz coming back up, just been a masher. And, he was kind of void of that power and started the season in AAA, which I didn't really understand. But, man, he's hitting for power again. He runs. I mean, the thing I love about the Nationals, up and down that lineup, they steal bases. So, I definitely agree. I think this game is a fun game for bats. Houston is the priority side. But, I wouldn't be opposed to stacking up this game altogether.
Yeah,
all bats are super interesting to me.
Yeah, it kind of. So for me, I definitely prefer the Houston side, but I don't know if they'll make a 2-2-2. They could. There's some teams I like better later, and I think we'll maybe be in agreement there, maybe not. But Houston Nationals are probably two of the top teams in the entire slate. Again, Washington, general rule of thumb for me is play them against lefties, and Burrows is a prospect. A decent prospect and also a righty. So that's the downgrade for me.
He was good. Burrows was okay for Pittsburgh, but then he comes over. You're like, Houston's a good pitching lab. They're gonna get him right, and they just haven't figured him out yet. No, he's just not striking anybody out. His underlines are okay, but not good enough in this spot. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
No. All right, cool. Cam Smith is pretty cheap, 2.9. I think when I'm looking at it, I felt Cam Smith at 2.9.
I do want to add that outside of Jordan, the Astros are very affordable. So, and it's similar to the Nationals outside of James.
So if you want to be like Kevin Gausman, to me, Jordan's too cheap. He should be more than 6'2". I mean, we have guys like Shohei 6'4". Jordan's been better.
Nick Kurtz is amazing.
I don't know why he's not
6'5", right? So it's you pick the spots. You're like, dude, Jordan's such a professional bat. Doesn't strike out at all. Even a couple walks, a couple runs scored, and then a double. That's gonna be fine at that price if the stack goes off.
Yeah, the thing for me that I'm gonna struggle with is I think I prefer the Dodgers straight up over Houston. And they some of the same position players I like at those positions. So it's that's the conundrum for me. But I mean, the Houston's in a great spot. Well, let's get to the next game here. We mentioned a little weather in the Atlanta game, but not enough to be concerned about the game at all. Maybe a pop-up shower here or there. We have Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Mets. Dude, he was horrible. He's been horrible this season. And then Ronaldo Lopez for the Atlanta, who came back he 670 pitches. I think he had 7 strikeouts or something. He looked great. He's not going to go deep enough for me to consider him here against the Mets, but keep an eye on him because I think he could be a guy you could start streaming regularly in good matchups because the strikeout stuff looks there, right? In 70 pitches, he looked phenomenal. Dude, Freddie Peralta looks washed to some degree. I mean, I bought into him in underdog when he was. I was always get paid.
Yeah, he's gonna be picked on. He's kind of guy, and he's kind of akin. Sorry to interrupt. He's kind of akin to Luis Castillo. Later half of his career, just doesn't have the same ace level upside now. So on this slate, and I'll let you dive into, but like I think the Braves are such a sneaky stack. We see Peralta, we see the name value. He's not who he once was, though, right? And the Mets bullpen's horrible. We watched the game yesterday. They were up. Well, I think they gave up like 9 runs in the top of the ninth or the bottom of the ninth. The Mets bullpen is not good. So the Braves are very sneaky stack on this slate to pay up for. I don't think a lot of people will go there because Peralta, they know the name. I think you're going to get them pretty low owned, and there's a chance the Braves blow up any slate. So I really think they're interesting, and they're going to make a 222 bill for me as a 5-man tonight for sure.
They are?
Yeah,
That's an interesting take. I see it. I mean,
like we're looking to win tournaments.
Freddie Peralta, like to me, is one of those. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know the internet for some reason is a little lagging on one of our sides, but all I'm saying is that it's not a lot of people to go there in a higher dollar entry. You're looking to win 100K in a bigger tournament. Like the Braves are 5-man. Like, would you be surprised if they put up 12, 15 runs, right? Peralta gets pulled in the first couple innings, and then you get a shitty Mets bullpen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
No, yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense for sure. It just, I think there's just better spots in my opinion. But yeah, the Braves, like we talked this other night, I was like, play Matt Olson as a one-off and he hits 2 home runs. Because I was like, that is a type of, they do have singular bats that I like. There's some guys that I just don't love in the lineup. So I think more of it's a 3-man stack for me if I win to the Braves. But yeah, I don't think I'll get there. But yeah, I don't hate it. It's in Truist Park. It's a good hitting environment. And yeah, we've seen so much shaking his head of Freddie Peralta. So he's someone like Luis Castillo at this point. Maybe Castillo has even surpassed him this season. It's not my favorite spot. Well, let's get to the next game here. We have Milwaukee going to St. Louis. This is a spot I like a pitcher in. I'll let you decide that while I talk about his pitching. So we have Dustin May for St. Louis and Drohan for Milwaukee. Dustin May has been the Dustin May that we all remember, and that is not extremely unpredictable. Yeah. It's like, this is the problem. This is what Dustin May does. He has the stuff to go out and pitch almost a perfect game. We saw that, right? But then he also has the stuff to go out and get absolutely shelled for multiple starts. No interest in Dustin May here. The guy I like is Drohan. The underlying stuff is great. I don't love picking pitcher against St. Louis, but at 7-3, I feel like he's just the obvious SP2 on the slate. He'll be on all my teams. The stuff looks good enough to be like, okay, I feel like I feel good about him getting 15 to 20 points. And I don't think there's much more that you can squeeze out of that arm right now. But like that's a good production at that price. And I just feel like I'm going to plug him in. I feel like he's probably one of the safer SP2s, probably the safest SP2 in my opinion on this slate. And then coming back, I think Milwaukee's like an interesting stack. Like this is a spot. It's like you either like you can get Jekyll and Hyde with Dustin May, and when Dustin May gets hit, he gets shelled. To me, it's like almost like it's like Milwaukee similar to the Braves. Like although like Freddie Peralta's a better arm, but like Dustin May, people have been playing him in DFS, so I wonder if there's still some of that lingering. Oh, like we're gonna see a good start here. Milwaukee's stackable from like top to bottom of their lineup, which is why I like them as a DFS team because they turn over quite a bit. So yeah, for me, it's like a 3 to 5 man stack from Milwaukee makes a lot of sense. But Drohan will be on majority of my teams, probably every team I build as an SP. Yeah,
I'm going to give you the sell case, obviously, just to play devil's advocate. I don't love him in the sense of the Cardinals against lefties are a problem. Like you get Velasquez back in that lineup. He's a masher. His StatCast is phenomenal, albeit a short sample here, but you obviously have Jordan Walker. You have Herrera. It's just guys that can absolutely smash lefties, right? So Drohan's not that proven where there's no risk there. And it is a pitcher's park, but there's a little bit of concern in this matchup here for me. I just don't know if I'll go there. So I understand.
I get that, but there's also, and I understand that's like even with those things factored in, it's like there's a reason Milwaukee's favored on the road in St. Louis, right? It's like
Milwaukee's a damn good team.
They're a damn good team, and you can stack them interestingly because you have guys like Cooper Pratt, like Garrett. There's just Jackson Chourio, obviously Bryce Terang, Wilson Con. There's a lot of ways to stack the Brewers. Yeah, I just think it's an interesting spot they'll go low on, especially given the slate that we have.
And, I know we're on opposite things, and there's often multiple ways to skin a cat. But for us, is like on a small slate like this, you're going to have to be closer to optimal than further away, right? Like I don't think there's a chance where you can get first or second in a spot where there's much difference. And what I mean by that is on a 13-game slate, you could get first and second with 2 completely different teams. On today's slate, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to have to be closer to that optimal build. Whatever team has the most runs, you're probably going to need a piece of that. There's not going to be multiple ways to get there in tonight's slate. That's just my opinion.
If Milwaukee has 13, it doesn't matter that your team scored 7 and 8. Like you're going to need the 13.
Yeah, I see this game being very middle. And what I mean by that, middle on both sides, middle for pitchers, middle for bats. I don't think it's a spot where either team can really explode from an offensive perspective. And I think both pitchers are both good enough and bad enough at the same time to not have that winning pitching upside, right? And we've seen Dustin May have those, like he had a no-hitter going the other day, and he's not that type of pitcher, and he's not that type of pitcher against the Brewers, right? The Brewers they're a team that you usually don't want to stack against. I mean, play pitchers against. They can really get to you. And with that being said, like there is bats in their lineup. The strikeout rate, we have Mitchell 33% strikeout rate, Bowers, Churio, Terang all have a 25% strikeout rate. So there is strikeout rates there. And that being said, I don't trust Big Red in this spot. I don't think he can shove in this spot particularly. But Pitcher's Park, I've seen crazier things happen. So for me, no bats in this game. I'm not going to middle it. If you wanted some one up for the Cardinals to get interesting, right? Velasquez, obviously, there's no reason to one off Walker. He's so expensive. He needs more than a home run, and hit another home run yesterday. I'm just going to victory lap the 80% best ball bags. I have him. I'm a psychopath as far as best, but like the guy's been legitimately, he's obviously an all-star, but like MVP caliber player this year for the Cardinals. He's one of the big reasons they're in contention for that division. I mean, he's been so damn good. I mean, obviously Weatherholt can't overlook him. Don't really want to play him against lefty. Even our ECU legend, Alec Burleson, just a monster. This lineup is getting better and better. Lars Newball came back. So I'm not going to target this spot, but I totally understand. Johan's underlying numbers suggest he is a good pitcher, going to get you 15 to 20 points here. And you would be happy if he got you in that range as an SP2.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do like Milwaukee. Again, there's just cheap value and everyone hits and runs. So like the cheap guys like Cooper Pratt, like I think he has like multiple stolen bases, right? And he's just recently been called up. Obviously, Churio, Bryce Trang, those guys run. So I think this is an interesting spot to target Dustin May in. This could be the end of Dustin May, right? This is, to me, it's like this is what you get with Dustin May. You get the perfect game almost, right? And then you get these starts where he's -7, -10, and you could see another negative spot.
Right.
So. Cool. Let's get to our next game. This is a spot I like too. So we have Walker Buehler on the mound for San Diego, and then Brandon Pfaadt coming back for Arizona. This is in San Diego, so Petco. My initial thoughts on this slate is like I love San Diego here. Brandon Pfaadt is the perfect pitcher to stack against because he has like 2 good starts a year, and outside those starts, he gives up 4 home runs a game. So like the profile used to be a good prospect, but like what we've seen recently is not good. What we've seen historically hasn't been good, and San Diego's a cheap stack. I mean, as I talk to this day, like this is partly the reason we do this is because like maybe I may like Milwaukee better than San Diego, but I really do like San Diego. When I first came in the 7, I do guys like Gavin Sheets, Fernando Tatis, Jackson Merrill. Really like those guys. You could even fill it in with like Ty France potentially. Jake Cronenworth stood out as a value. He's 2K, and they've been batting him in the 2-hole. So I think San Diego is a nice source of like, they could put up 8 runs here and like be a second or third highest scoring team on the slate, and at their cost could be the optimal build. Yeah, and so like that's kind of my thought on it. I don't have a ton of interest in Arizona because Arizona's 30th in WOBA against righties. So like they're like horrible against righties. So only play Arizona at this point against lefties. So I think Walker Buehler is not good, but like they just have struggled mightily against righties. So just not going to consider the Arizona Diamondbacks here. Not going to consider Walker Buehler. Jorhan I like better, but yeah, I'm really, really interested in San Diego because I do feel like Brandon Pfaadt's the pitcher we've seen this multiple times, right? He in 3 innings, he's given up 6 runs, 3 home runs. Like that is the profile that you get with him. And like once in a while you do get, because he puts the ball in the zone, you do get the decent strikeout performances, but like I feel like this is going to be one of those where.
Yeah, and he hasn't shown that as much this year, to be honest. He hasn't shown as much of the strike. I know he was hurt and he's back, but he just hasn't shown the proclivity to strike guys out at the same rate he was last year. So now I just feel like the risk is not even worth the upside.
It's not. You can't play Brandon Pfaadt. No, like, and again, maybe he has a good start once in a while, but it's not enough to be in consideration in DFS. But yeah, give me some of the lefties here. Jake Cronenworth especially stands out at 2K at second base. I just feel like that is such a good value. If they bat him in the 2-hole again, like the bat hasn't been good. He's batting 180, but like the profile, generally speaking, is like a guy that can hit and steal.
We know a guy that can win you a slate. And what Taylor's saying there is so true because he's a guy that bats 9th that could hit a home run and steal a couple of bases. And you're like, dude, he broke the slate at 2K at second base.
Yeah. So I think San Diego could go put up a big spot here. They're coming off a win against the Dodgers last night. Maybe a little momentum going back to Petco. I like it. I think again, this
Snap and Nate game, it hurt me because I had him in a small 3-game parlay there, but I played the Dodgers, that is, and there should not have been a game winning streak. Oh, losing streak. Forgive me. So I think it's just, like you said, they're very interesting. Jackson Merrill's been underperforming, but like you said, a lot of these guys hit and run. Like we have Tatis, we have Merrill, we have Cronenworth, who is cheap. So there's some bats there that I do like. I don't really want to play the aging Machado, Bogarts. I know they're fine at times, but just like those are not DFS friendly bats. And from the Arizona side,
Machado's been good. So Machado over his last like 7 games has been phenomenal. Like he's actually been really good, and he's been hitting home runs and like hitting like doubles, extra base hits constantly. So I think consider Machado for sure. The average doesn't look great, but to start the season, it was horrible.
And the stack is good for him still. It's still
good.
It
is. And I think he's still like middle price, right? Like Machado is used to be like a 5K third baseman. He's like in the low fours. So I think San Diego's a really good spot. I think they'll go overlooked, right? Because they haven't been good. Like San Diego hasn't been winning anybody anything. So like this is one of those spots that's like against Brandon Fodda, they could put up if they put up 10 runs, it's like you're gonna want San Diego because at their cost, they're gonna be really valuable. Like whereas the Dodgers could put up 7 runs and like maybe they're not optimal because everyone's so expensive. Like Shohei puts up 20 points, Freddie puts up 10 points, 15 points. You see what I'm saying? Those guys are 6K, 6'4". So it's like, like maybe that's not the 7 runs from the Dodgers.
It's replaceable.
It's not as valuable, but I love the Dodgers, but we haven't got to the game. We'll get to that game in a second. Let's go to the next one here. Anything else to add from the San Diego game, Dylan?
I think that's it. I mean, I don't generally want to play the Diamondbacks as a 5-man. Like I limit them to a 3-man, or even just a 2-man with Kettle and Corbin. But you're paying for those bats. Those are the 2 priority bats for Arizona, like that have the DFS from the upside. They can steal, they can hit home runs. Those guys are phenomenal batters. The Arizona team overall, I'm just selling on. They're just not a good team. So up and down, they're not a team you want a 5-man stack, and I just don't see them. I know Walker Buehler is not special. He's not very good. The Padres bullpen is very good. I think the Padres win this game outright, and there's just no reason for me to stack the Diamondbacks on a slate even of this size.
Agreed. Cool. Let's get to the next one here. This is more of a pitching matchup, in my opinion. So we have Toronto versus San Francisco. We have Kevin Gausman and Landon Roop for San Francisco. To me, Kevin Gausman is probably like my favorite safe pitcher on the slate against San Francisco. Like that park obviously conducive for pitching. Limits kind of power, but also like San Francisco is a bottom 3 offense. So I think Kevin Gausman should be the highest end pitcher, and I will play him 100% tonight. I just think he makes the most sense. He's safe. He's got a decent floor plus ceiling, and he's 9K. He's not even like that expensive. So Kevin Gausman would be like the main pitcher I play. I don't like playing against Landon Roop. I think he's a good real life pitcher, but I think 8-3 is a little thin. I think Toronto's a little bit better offense than San Francisco. Definitely better offense than San Francisco. So I think 8-3 is just not a price I'll get to, but this just is a void spot from the bats. But play Kevin Gausman tonight. He's the best SP on the slate.
Yeah, I already teased the under 5.5. It's pretty ambitious. I just think this game goes under more times than not. I think Roop's a very good pitcher in real life, and his fantasy upside is not as much, but I think he's fine at 8-3.
He's like Logan Webb a little bit. He's a ground ball.
Yeah, this is not a void of. This is not, I guess, a plethora of good pitching. So for me, like he's in play. Gausman is definitely the A side. San Francisco strikes out. Listen, without looking, like, do you know what Luis Arez's strikeout rate is on the season?
9%.
4%. That's so good.
That's so crazy.
And like 4%'s incredible. Just he's an old slapper. But Jungle Lee also 9% strikeout rate. So those guys are just not striking out. But Gausman does strike
his
out.
His bat speed is so because it's Luis Arez. He does that because his bat speed is so low, right? Like he does it. He's not swinging very fast. His bat speed.
It makes sense. Like if you ever play baseball before, just like I mean, obviously you have an A swing. He has such a dialed back swing, so you can put every ball in play, right? Yeah. So obviously it makes sense that Devers is a 30% strikeout rate. Because he hits the ball really hard. What's more impressive if we go back to Cameron Yarrow? I mean, Cameron Yarrow hits the piss out of the ball, but he's got like a 13% strike rate. That guy is going to be an absolute superstar.
Dude,
and I pray Tampa Bay comes to the Carolinas. I mean, it would be so cool if their franchise said, "Fuck it, we're leaving Tampa, we're leaving Florida, go to North Carolina." It would be so sick. I would love to have a Cameron. I know our younger brother is like a Rays fan, so it's fun for him. He would love it. I mean, he manifesting it. You know, he works in data and analytics there, and he's looking to work for a professional sports team, which would be really cool. So it would just be a cool story if they would come to Carolina.
So amazing. I would love that. That'd be awesome.
But that's just to say this is a pitcher game. Like I said, tease the under. I think Roop is in play a little bit more than you do. Someone to keep an eye on is Sean Keyes is up now. I don't know where he's going to fit in for the Blue Jays. Pretty good prospect, hits the piss out of the ball. I'm not going to play him in this spot, but just someone to keep your eye on going forward if you want to stack the Blue Jays up.
Check. I like it. Let's get the last game in the slate. So this is a great offensive spot as well. We have Colorado at the Dodgers. We have Eric Lauer on the mound for the Dodgers, Kyle Freeland for Colorado. Neither of these pitchers are in play, in my opinion. I guess like maybe if you want to take a shot on Lauer against the Rockies, you could.
He's been so much better since coming to the Dodgers. I mean,
yeah, like I mean, there's like a decent chance for 15 to 20 points here at 6K. So like
maybe he just doesn't strike anyone out. Like his underlyings are fine as far as hard contact exit
like no one out.
Just strikes. He's got a 14% strikeout rate. So as far as DFS goes, it's like where's the upside? Is it like it's just you look at this lineup for the Rockies. It's like Goodwin, their best probably righty bat, not even probably, definitely is 32% strikeout rate. We go up and down. We have Moniak maybe sits against the lefty 25%, but a lot of these guys do strike out. But that being the case, obviously Tyler Freeman, another righty that could cause some problems for Lauer. It's a good hitter spot. I mean, we're not telling you anything crazy because I think the over/under for this game is 10.5 right now. So like it's not going to be slept on. It's probably the highest, not even probably, definitely. I just have to double check that it's the highest over/under on the slate. So it's likely a game people do gravitate towards. And I don't know if you want to touch on the Dodgers. My opinion on the Dodgers is I just like them better against righties, and Kyle Freeland sucks. So like. You can play him, but Kyle Freeland has these starts where he just like gets through the lineup, and I just don't understand why he just fly balls, find the warning track, don't find the seats, and you just don't want that. So I just don't know what I'm gonna do here. It might just be a pass game for me. I know you're heavy in the Dodgers, makes sense. They're the best team in baseball. You're gonna want to play the spot, but give me some better in depth.
I think you just play the Dodgers, and the reason for me is like whenever they're in this type of spots, like the lineup, you can play whoever from the Dodgers. I like rushing. You can stack. I like a wraparound stack somewhat, but it's like. I'm pitcher agnostic against them because their lineup is so complete. You get more of this turnover where like even the guys in the back end of the order at home get like 4 to 5 at bats. And so, man, I think just stack the Dodgers in this spot. And I think they'll be owned, but like, I mean, there's other spots earlier because it's a late game slate too. You get discounted ownership once in a while. And so like, I think the Dodgers are just like the phenomenal, like they will be a 3 and 5 man stack on every one of my teams. I'm just going to play the Dodgers tonight.
And I love that. Like, because I'm not doing that. And, we generally don't work together, but we love to have one of us have success consistently. And, me being really ambitious and stacking against Freddie Peralta probably is going to result in me winning $0. But that's kind of the trade-off where it's like, okay, you can play the Dodgers at similar prices or the Braves, and no one's going to play the Braves because of that. And I think that's why they're such a sneaky play against.
The reason the Dodgers could be a little bit – people don't like to play lefty on lefty matchups. So, like, all the lefties are always low-owned against – like, doesn't matter if it's the Dodgers. So, like, I like Mac Muncy. I like Freddie Freeman. I like Shohei. I like – Kyle Tucker. Like I like Dalton Rushing. Those are all lefties. Like I'm not like discriminating. I'm like, I'm not gonna play these guys against a lefty pitcher. So I'm in on the Dodgers tonight. I don't
splits and see how he's
Who are you looking at, Dylan?
Pulling up the splits. Keep going. I'm just pulling up the splits to see how he's betting. I'm just pulling up the splits on Freeland to see kind of if there's any advantage there. He's definitely far worse against righties.
Yeah. It's just he's a bad pitcher.
He's definitely far worse against righties, and you can see that. Yeah,
this is how I feel. Like Kyle Freeland's gonna go 4 innings, give up 12 hits and 6 runs. Like so, like that's probably like a fair outcome for him. I think that's like a middle outcome. And so, like, is that enough? Right? Like, what does the bullpen come in and do for Colorado? Did they give up additional 4? Because you'll need an additional 4 runs, right? So I think like Kyle Freeland will give up in the 5 to 6 range.
If you tell me right now you're sure Confidence giving up 12 hits, I'm stocking the Dodgers. 12 hits is
it's just like this is a Confidence hittable. So like this is the thing. It's like the Dodgers I think they'll score in the 6 to 10 range tonight. If they score 6, maybe not enough. If they score 10, I think it will be enough to win you a slate. Again, the cost, right, is something to consider, right? If the Astros put up 10, if Milwaukee puts up 10 and the Dodgers put up 10 at cost, like you're going to want the other 2 teams over the Dodgers just because like the complete game stack is a little bit cheap, a little bit more expensive. But yeah, I'm a heavy on the Dodgers tonight. I'm not going to get too cute. I think they're in a great spot. So I don't think anything else to add, man. I do have.
Listen, I'm getting cute. I'm getting cute and playing against good pitchers. It's just one of these slates where there's not a lot of true bona fide aces. So like you can get a little tricky and like Peralta probably by name value be like, oh, he's the ace. Like he's an ace, right? Like Peralta, yeah. But like diving into the numbers, not good. And Braves already saw him. Obviously I'm wearing the Braves cap. I generally don't even have favoritism at all in DFS when it comes to my team. You often don't find me playing the Braves, to be honest, but I think just Freddie Peralta's profile screams a guy that could totally get shelled. And if we get the Braves up against a bad Mets bullpen, I mean, it's just wheels up. I mean, Devin Williams even's been terrible, right? Like he almost blew that lead yesterday too. So for me, there's something just screaming Braves to me as a low one. I think we can get all bats for the Braves under double-digit ownership, and that's just going to be a fun stack for me. Yeah. It won't be in all my 222s. Like I'm rocking pretty hard in this tournament tonight. I'm not going to do 60 entry max, but I'm gonna play it pretty aggressively. I just feel like there's some interesting ways to go. So, like I said, make your stands, make your picks, build a single entry. Make a stand, even if it's maybe not the so-called optimal team to play tonight. Just do that. Pick your stacks, win all the money. Easy as that.
Yep. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us. Everyone who listened, thank you for listening. If you find it valuable, let us know. If not,
even if you don't find it valuable, I'm going to be here every day grinding. We do this all the time. We chat it up, and hopefully we provide something that's helpful down the line. I know you made some pretty good calls, and so it's just like what we say doesn't matter as much as like our process, and what we do is like making true stands, making game theory stands too. It's just like make a stand in what you're going to do, even if you have a feel for it, right? Like the stats can bear things out, but we know there's so much variance in baseball. Like nothing's 100% certain on any slate. So,
Well, work is knocking. I got to jump to a call, but
we'll be in touch.
All right. See you guys
later.